Hey there again. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to be a little bit more resourceful with some more of your leftovers from Thanksgiving dinner. I know we're a few days past that, but sometimes we have these types of meals with Christmas and New Year's, so hopefully this is something that you can still use, and if you still have leftovers, then this is a great opportunity. Tacos. They're something that just about everybody loves, but this is going to create a little spin on them. And I'm just using things that I actually already have on hand and some key leftovers from the big meal. So I have our cranberry sauce. Yes, we buy the canned kind. We don't try to make anything fancy. This is the stuff that we use. I love it. I have chopped up a jalapeno here. Normally when I do these videos, I do like to do all the chopping so that you don't have to watch me do that. There's really nothing fancy about it. But I am going to show you what I have in a plastic baggie are some celery sticks left over from the veggies and dip that we had out beforehand. Now typically if I were to make a sauce for tacos, I'd probably start with onion. But sometimes I like to use celery instead of onion because the flavors are somewhat similar and they work the same way. So ultimately, I'm just gonna split these up. They're already washed, they're already cut, so I'm not paying anything extra from the grocery store like I would with the cauliflower, but just give it a quick chop. Again, nothing fancy. The thing is, you're not gonna want huge chunks because this is what we're gonna put on some leftover Thanksgiving turkey tacos. I actually prefer the bowls instead of tacos just because I feel like I do love tacos, but we have been eating a lot of carbohydrates. Raise your hand if you love stuffing. And so sometimes a bowl allows us to add a little bit extra of the veggies that we've been looking for. So there you have it. That's the equivalent of a small onion or half of a large onion. It was probably about 12 celery sticks. I have jalapeno chopped up finely here. And then I also have some leftover thyme, something that we're all lacking these days. This is from the turkey that we used and some other things that we had cooked for the big meal. So I'm just gonna use this, I'm not even gonna chop it, and you'll see how we make this sauce for turkey tacos or turkey taco bowls. All right, everybody, I have my pan heated up here with about 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil in it. I am going to add in the celery that I chopped up, left over from our veggies and dip. To start Thanksgiving dinner, I'm going to add in the jalapeno that I chopped up. And I'll add a little bit of salt and pepper. And I'm just going to add the thyme sprigs, also left over from dinner. And I'm just leaving those whole so the leaves can fall off. Basically just going to infuse this with that thyme flavor. So it's still going to taste like Thanksgiving, but it shouldn't be too overpowering. Now I'm just going to add about a teaspoon of garlic. You can skip this step if you want. Garlic is always good to add after your onions and other vegetables have had a few minutes to cook down. Otherwise it can burn and get bitter. So I usually, when I'm just about to add the rest of the ingredients, that's when I throw the garlic in just for about 30 to 60 seconds. And so from here, we're still gonna leave the thyme sprig in here. We've got our onions and jalapeno that's been in here for a couple minutes now. Garlic's good. So here's the sweet stuff. We're adding in our leftover cranberry sauce. I have about a cup of that as well. And we're just gonna stir this up. So your cranberry sauce is really just gonna get a different flavor. And the pan's already hot, it's bubbling. So I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. And I just want these flavors to meld together. Now because this is pretty thick, I'm going to add just some leftover chicken broth. You could use chicken stock as well. So about a quarter of a cup of that. Stir this together. And now I can turn the heat back up just for a minute, just to let it boil, which is not going to take long because we really don't have that much in the pan, but just to let all the flavors combine. You can see the edges are boiling, you can see that thyme sprig is still in there. So now that that's pretty much at a boil, I'm going to cover this slightly, knock it down, and just let it simmer for about 10 minutes, maybe less. It's probably pretty much ready to use if you wanted, but I'll let those flavors combine for a little bit longer, and you'll see what we'll do with it next.